welcome to my Each One Teach One. This week I'm going to show you how to make your own homemade almond milk and cashew milk creamer. So making your own almond milk, making your own cashew milk creamer is such an easy thing to do, and you can really control exactly what's going into your nut milks, and they can be relatively cheap if you buy things in bulk. Alrighty, so let's get started. The equipment that you'll need for making your almond milk to start is a blender. If you have a high-speed blender, that'll make it much quicker and easier, but you can use whatever blender you have. You'll need almonds for your almond milk, a little bit of sea salt, a funnel if you have it, makes pouring a little easier, some type of container to filter your almond milk into, a strainer for washing off your almonds in the very beginning, and then lastly, either a nut milk bag or some cheesecloth will also work to strain your almond milk. Alrighty, so you'll need to have 1 cup of almonds to make 4 cups of almond milk. So take your 1 cup and you'll want to submerge them in water and soak them overnight in the refrigerator. Usually about 4 to 6 hours is best. Sometimes I just put them in the night before, and then I can either make it that morning or sometime the next day. Luckily, I have pre-soaked some almonds already. Again, that's 1 cup of almonds. And so what we need to do first is we need to strain our almonds. The almond water will get very dirty pretty quickly, so you want to make sure you wash off your almonds thoroughly. Alrighty. Okay, so now that we have our almonds rinsed and washed off, we're going to take them and put them in our blender. And now we're going to use our 4 cups of water that we talked about at the beginning, and we're going to start to blend them. Usually I only do about 1 cup to sometimes 2 cups of water to start out with before I add the other 2 cups, just so that the almonds definitely break down. So now we have our 1 cup of almonds with 2 cups of water, and we're going to turn this on and let it blend for about 30 seconds to a minute long, depending on your blender. So we'll entertain you with some of this other music while we are blending. So now these almonds and that 2 cups of water have been blending for about a minute. Hopefully you enjoyed that lovely music. Now we're going to take the other 2 cups of water and we're going to add it to the blender as well. Oh, and then along with our 2 cups of water, we're going to take just like, gosh, not even 1/8 of a teaspoon. And this just brings out the almond flavor. So you can do more, you can do less, you can actually leave it out altogether. Now that we have our salt and we have all 4 cups of water in here, we're going to turn the blender back on and let it blend for another minute, just until it gets really silky smooth and the most of the almond sort of bits are broken down. So now we've blended this for an additional 1 minute. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our almond milk. This is full of pulp as well as almond milk, so we need to strain it. So we're going to take our nut milk bag, and then we're going to take our little container. And this is kind of where you get to get your hands dirty a little bit, so make sure your hands are washed. I just washed mine. And you're basically just going to take your almond mixture and you're going to pour it through your nut bag. I usually just do the entire blender's worth of almond milk. If you have a cheesecloth, you just want to layer it so that the holes are pretty small, so that you don't get any of that pulp into your almond milk. So you're just going to keep squeezing. This does take about a minute. You have to be kind of patient so you don't have any erupt from the top. And as you squeeze through, you're going to feel the pulp that's left over. That will not. So now we have all of our pulp left over, and we have all of our almond milk. So this entire thing is now delicious almond milk, homemade. So all you have to do really is find some jars. We use tomatoes. I think these are tomato sauce jars. Because the smaller the top, the better to pour it out so it doesn't go everywhere. If you actually have a container that's like 4 beverages, that would be also really great. This one's, you don't really necessarily need it, but now you're just going to use your funnel if you have it, and then you can just pour it right into your tomato sauce jar or whatever jar you're using. This should make about 4 cups, maybe just under 4 cups of almond milk. And there you go. Now you have delicious homemade almond milk. Obviously, what's really nice about this too is that you can choose how much you want to make. So we drink a lot of it with our coffee and with cereal and granola. But if you don't and you just need it for a recipe, you can take just a handful of almonds, soak them overnight, and make however much you want, really. Usually this lasts about 4 to 7 days in the refrigerator. And don't forget about the pulp. The pulp is super awesome to use. Don't throw it away. There's lots of recipes you can find online. So that's it. That's how you make your almond milk. Okay, so at the beginning of the video, I told you I was also going to show you how to make some cashew creamer. So that's what we're going to do now. So the nice thing about using cashews instead of almonds is that if you don't have a nut milk bag, you can actually just whiz this up and you don't have to filter or strain it, really. And they're really, really easy. They're also super high in fat, so it makes like a thicker, creamier creamer for your coffee, which is what we use it for. So to do this, you'll need your cashews. This is a half of a cup of cashews, and these are also soaked overnight. If you have a really high-speed blender, like a Vitamix, you can actually get away without soaking them. So this is nice if you forgot to soak them and you want some creamer really quick, you can just throw them in there. So we have a half a cup of cashews. Obviously we need our blender. We also will use some dates for some natural sweetener. We also sometimes will use maple syrup, again for a little bit more natural sweetener. We have some vanilla extract, a little tiny bit of sea salt, again to bring up the sweetness. And then this time we only have 3 cups of water. We use a little bit less because we want it to be creamier and thicker for our creamer. And that is mostly all you need. So now what we're going to do to start is take our cashews, we're going to dump them into our blender, right? And along with our cashews, we're going to do our dates. So you can either do dates or maple syrup, or you can do a little bit of both. If you want to do your dates, you just need to pit them first so you don't have that hard pit in. I usually just do about 3 dates, and then I like a little bit of maple syrup too, just because I like the flavor it gives. So we'll do our 3 dates. Okay. Very sticky. So that's our dates, and then we're going to take a little bit of maple syrup. I don't usually measure this, but it's anywhere between like a tablespoon or 2. So you're just going to pour in a tablespoon of maple syrup, more or less, or if you don't like it super sweet, you can leave it out altogether. We're going to take our vanilla extract, and we're going to do about a teaspoon or a little bit less. Okay. Then we're going to do just like that 1/8 of a teaspoon. I usually just measure with my hand. So we're going to put a little bit in, that just brings out the sweetness. And then we're going to start out blending this just because the dates will need a little bit more time. And if you add all of the water, again, it kind of, they don't break down as much at first. So we're just going to put our 1 cup of water in, cover our blender. All right. And then we're going to blend this for about a minute as well. Alrighty, so now these have been blended for about a minute. We're gonna add in our 2 cups that are remaining. And we're gonna blend again. Alrighty, so now our cashew creamer has blended for a couple of minutes and it's all set to go. It smells delicious and creamy and vanilla-y. So all you're gonna do now is pour it into your glass. Or glasses, because there's a lot. And that's how you make almond milk and homemade cashew creamer. Hopefully you try it out. If you do, let me know how it goes. And if you have any questions, let me know as well. Thanks for watching.